Today, we will once and for all definitively answer the age-old question that's plagued the audio engineering community. Is there a difference between the hardware compressor and its digital plugin brethren? Yeah, of course there is. Absolutely. But does it sound better? That's a much more important question. And only you can decide. Choose carefully. Let's get into it. Quick disclosure, no one sent this to me. I bought this with my own money. So, no one's paying me to say nice words. All 299 of the dollars that this thing cost came out of my wallet. So, I can say anything I want to about this compressor. So let's talk about it. Lindell Audio did something interesting with these compressors. You see, 1176s, there's so many different revisions of them that have come out over the years. And each revision has slightly different tonal characteristics and traits that kind of give it its overall sound. And Lindell Audio said, you know what, we're gonna pick and choose our favorite characteristics from all these different revisions to make our compressor. And so the input stage is modeled after revision G, which is like a cleaner input stage. The circuitry is modeled after revision D, which is the LN version of the 1176. Think of that as like harmonic content and how the compressor plays with the audio. And then on the output stage, they modeled that after revision A. And a lot of people know revision A as the blue stripe compressor or the Bluey. And revision A is known for just adding in a little bit of that analog grit and saturation, just rubbing a little bit of dirt in that signal before it sends it off to go. I love that. Let's listen to it. Okay, so I do have a session pulled up here. We're going to put the 1176 on a snare drum so that we can hear the difference. This is one of my favorite uses of the 1176. And just so you know, the way that I've got it set up, the LiN76, I've got the ability in Cubase to set it up as like an external effect. So that way you've got the routing of it, but you can place it anywhere in your insert chain that you want to. So I've got it, as you can see over here towards the left, the compressors are post the high pass filter, but before the EQ, which is where I want it in this particular song. And so the compressors are in the exact same place in the chain, and we're just going to go back and forth. And so we can listen to one, listen to the other. I've got the settings on the compressors very similar. However, there are always going to be slight differences. I'm taking a look at the meters. I will say the universal audio is going to show us more dB of compression than I am hearing to my ears. So it's going to sound like the Lindell, or it's going to look like the Lindell is not doing as much compression. But from what I hear, I really think it is. So first things first, let's just listen to the snare drum on its own. That's a well-recorded snare drum. I like that sound. So let's start with the UAD. Also, quick note, so in Cubase, if it's highlighted blue, that means it is engaged. If I either hit this button, bypass effect, that'll turn yellow, and you'll see over here it goes gray. That means that it's not on. And then whatever I choose to listen to, I just click these buttons to engage or bypass them. So, all right, so let's start with the UAD 1176. Let's hear that. I mean, it's got that 1176 character. It's got the thwack. It's got that little bit of punch, little bit of hair on the top end. This is about where I would put an 1176, 4-to-1 ratio, somewhat slower attack, somewhat faster release, and then I would just drive into it enough. So now let's listen to the Lindell Audio, the LiN76, and see how that fares. See what I mean? Like the meter on that Lindell Audio is showing us 3 dB of compression, and I hear more than that. But here, let's now go back and forth between the two. So let's listen to the UA, go back and forth. And Lindell. And UA. All right, so one of the first things that I'm really noticing is something that I always notice whenever I do these comparisons between the Lindell and any plugin 1176 that I'm using. The Lindell gets dirty. It loves to saturate the signal, and I love that about the Lindell. I think part of that is also because of the transformer that it's got in there. They designed like the input and output stage after different revisions of the 1176, in my opinion, to give you one of the greatest overall 1176 tones. I cannot sing the praises of the Lindell Audio high enough. I really think it's a fantastic bang for your buck, especially for the fact that this plugin and this hardware compressor cost the same amount. Let that sink in. This hardware compressor costs $299. That's crazy. I'll drop links below so that you guys can check it out if you want, but I love the Lindell Audio. Here, let's do another A-B comparison real quick. So let's, again, starting on the UAD, and then we're just going to go back and forth. All right, and Lindell. Yeah, it's 100%. Also, I was kind of noticing, listen to the kick drum information that's kind of in the background. The Lindell, I think, is bringing out the kick drum information a little more too, which I think is interesting. So we're on the Lindell. And now UAD. Like, it's funny, like the UAD sounds a little bit cleaner, which, I mean, you know, for sure. But yeah, the Lindell, it just does this saturating kind of thing to the signal. I love it. All right, let's check out a guitar track. All right, I got our guitar track pulled up. We're going to do the same exact thing. So this is compressors in the same exact spot in the insert chain, which is post EQ in this particular instance. Not a whole lot happening on that EQ. I am boosting up just a touch on the 12K high shelf, and then somewhere around 700 hertz, I'm boosting. That is not a move that I do often. This mix must have needed it. And then a pretty high pass. So 180, that's usually a little higher than I do. But hey, let's listen to just the guitars without the compressions. Let's hear that. Sounds good. I think it was recorded well. SM57, single SM57 on a guitar cab. You cannot go wrong, by the way. Okay, let's start with the Lindell because I got that one pulled up. So, Lindell Audio guitar. I love the Lindell Audio. Of course, links down below if you guys want to check this out yourself. It's got the perfect smoosh to it. I love it. And it also is giving me saturation, but not just saturation in one area of the frequency spectrum. It's extending its saturation across all of the frequency spectrum. I love that. Love the saturation that it's given me. Okay, let's check out the UAD. Again, it's the same thing that I heard on the drums. The UAD sounds a little cleaner. It's got the hair on the top end. It's got a little bit of that going on, but it doesn't have as much saturation through the mids and especially not the low end as the hardware 1176 has. So let's go back and forth. I'm going to start on the UAD and we'll just bounce back and forth. All right, now Lindell. Oh, that's pleasant. All right, Lindell. Like, listen to the like the little slide down the neck as he starts to play. Listen to just that part. Like, you can really hear how the compressor's grabbing it. Here, let's listen to the UAD. Like, the UAD, it like grabs it and holds on to it, and it does it at that classic 1176 speed. But there is something about the hardware that as it grabs the audio to pull it down, you can hear a little bit more of the performance, which is kind of the secret sauce. Let's listen to that. Oh, yeah. One more time. I mean, that saturation, the way that it grabs the audio, it's beautiful. All right, UAD. I mean, listen, do they both sound good? Yes. Do you have a preference? Only you can answer that. All right, let's move on to a vocal. All right, so on the vocal, same exact song. We've got the Lindell Audio LiN76 and the UAD, a little different revision this time, the Blue Stripe, which is known for its like sparkly top end. Now, when I mixed this song originally, I didn't have the Lindell Audio LiN76 in my rack at that time. I was using it on a different project elsewhere, which is why it wasn't there. So this is actually the compressor that got put on the final mix. So it's going to be interesting to see like the final mix that we had and then the Lindell and see if I have any remorse of sending out that mix before using the Lindell. Okay, let's hear the vocal without any compression first.
Is it too much to ask to leave it all in the past?
Sounds like a good vocal. I'm going to leave the reverb on there. I think it just sounds good. So. Okay, let's do UAD 1176. Let's listen to a couple phrases.
Is it too much to ask to leave it all in the past?
4 more aggressive sounding vocals. I do like an 1176. It does have a tendency to tame like the harsher peaks and allow more of just like a balance to the overall mix sometimes. And I think in this particular mix, I did put another compressor after, but we're going to bypass that for now and just listen to the 1176s.
Would solitude kill the whole? Horns blaring through the fog.
All right, that's a good phrase. Okay, let's listen to the Lindell audio now. So Lindell, same phrase.
Would solitude kill the whole? Horns blaring through the fog.
Okay. Yeah, oh man, I really like the sound of the Lindell. Here's, upon first initial listen, this is what my ears hear, again, using headphones. The UAD does the top end thing that the Blue Stripe UAD does. It's the 5K, 7K sparkle spank thing that happens, quote me on that. Sparkle spank of the 5 to 7K is nice. I like it. It's given me a little hair, a little distortion, a little crispness. That's nice on this type of vocal. I do like it. The LiN76 is a little bit on the warmer side of things, which makes sense. But the saturation that it's giving is, again, more even across the full frequency spectrum. So it's not concentrating all of its, like, saturation on the top end. And then there's also a difference in, like, the space that I hear in the performance. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with, like, the reverb. Here, I'll bypass the reverb to talk about this. Listen to the Lindell and listen for the space. Like, it sounds like you're in the room with the vocalist. And keep in mind, we are slamming this compressor a little bit. I'm getting 15, 20 dB of gain reduction.
Would solitude kill the whole? Horns blaring through the fog.
All right, now let's listen to the same phrase, but with the UAD.
Would solitude kill the whole? Horns blaring through the fog.
Like, they both do a great job of controlling the dynamics as a compressor is supposed to, right? But the thing that I'm noticing is that I can hear more of the performance with the Lindell, which think of how huge that is. That's our job, is to enhance performance, right? Okay, Lindell, just the Lindell on its own. Let's listen to it.
Would solitude kill the whole? Horns blaring through the fog.
All right, and UAD, let's keep going.
I wanna go home.
All right, let's listen to that through the Lindell.
I wanna go home.
All right, UAD.
You let me go crazy.
All right, and let's listen to that phrase through the Lindell.
You let me go crazy. I wanna come down.
Oh man, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, hold on.
Crazy.
This is the UAD.
I wanna come down.
Yeah, it's, oh my God. I know that everybody gets so mad when you use the term three-dimensional when you talk about audio, and I just don't care. It's just a word that I use to express hearing the space in the performance. It's like even though I'm slamming the compressor, it still leaves room for dynamics. I know that those are two completely opposite things, and what I'm saying doesn't make sense. But it is, I hear an openness with the LiN76 that I don't hear with the plugin. The plugin, yes, gives me that sparkly top end that I don't get as much of on the LiN76. So if I redid this mix today, if the band was like, hey, the mix sounds great, but could you just retouch it? I would be happy to, and I would use the Lindell Audio LiN76 on the vocal, and then I would put something afterward to help bring out some of that top end sparkle. EQ, saturation, maybe. Yeah. Oh, God, it's so good. So in summation, Lindell Audio really knocked it out of the park with these things. Like, gosh, they are such good compressors for the price. Like, I want to remind everybody, these boxes cost $2.99. Those plugins that I was comparing it to cost $2.99. Same price. So for anybody who's like, oh, you're just trying to get people to spend money on fancy, no, same price as your fancy plugin. So just saying, I love an 1176, and Lindell knocked it out of the park with the 1176 sound and flavor and character that I always love an 1176 for. If you were asking me what I thought they would charge for this, if I was just listening to it, I would have guessed probably $1,000 or more. It's that good. It really is. It beats out everything else in the price range, and I don't think that you'll get a better outboard compressor until you spend a lot more money for an 1176 compressor. If I do have one complaint, this is a genuine complaint, wall warts for the power supply. It's not a deal breaker, but I don't like wall warts. I strongly prefer the 3-prong cables, of course. But you know what? If you're only going to pay $2.99 for this compressor, I'll deal with the wall wart. So if you are thinking about buying an outboard compressor and looking at this one, it helps out my channel substantially if you actually purchase using the links below. So consider that. If I've earned your like in this video, please press the buttons. You know how the internet works. This is the currency of the internet. Leave a comment. Let me know how insanely wrong I am or how right I am as well. And then if you've not yet subscribed, what are you doing with your life? You need to subscribe to this channel. It helps me out so much more than you could ever really know. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.